Hi, I'm Jennifer. I am the therapist of my own domain here, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself before you maybe get into some other things on my website about EMDR and ego states and all the things, the wonderful things that I do to help people heal. But I do want to tell my own story first. I am not one of those flat-faced or straight-faced therapists who, don't have emotions and don't cry and don't show up and don't give you at a girl or what the fuck are you doing. I don't say that to people, but sometimes I think it, and maybe sometimes they would want me to say that. If you're one of my clients and doing that, you can let me know in our next session that, yeah, it's okay to do that. So I do EMDR because EMDR was what helped save me. I had never heard of it before I went on to get my own thing. So I'll tell you my story a little bit. I do share. I don't overshare during our sessions. I will not make you feel responsible for my tears or my happiness or whatever, and I share stories because, look, I'm an old lady, and frankly, I think people can relate better when we're honest. When therapists are honest about their struggles and their own things, people feel normal. Wow, you're struggling with this too. Holy cow, I'm not the only one, So my stuff happened. My healing journey began when I was around 40. So that's been about 15 years ago. I'm 55 now. And I didn't know I had PTSD. I didn't know I was suffering from PTSD for 30 years. Had a childhood trauma, a single incident trauma, and I think that's important to know. Had a single incident trauma, but on top of other traumas of having a alcoholic father and a divorce between my parents and all those things that go on that little kids don't have words to express their feelings about. But my single incident trauma happened when I was around 10. And as a teenager, this caused me, maybe not caused, but in my warped little mind, my kid mind, my underdeveloped mind, I thought, oh, this must be normal. How weird, but okay. And I never told anybody. Didn't tell anybody. Not my parents, not friends, not anyone. So I sunk into this pretty deep depression when I was a preteen into my teenager. And then I kind of got a little bit promiscuous as a teen and in my 20s, and lots of, I guess the PTSD symptoms started when I was in my 30s, and I couldn't go into a big box store, the one on a busy day on a Saturday at the beginning of the month. Was just like, no, I would have a panic attack, sure as hell. And my kids were watching this. They didn't understand what was happening. I went to New York City one time with a friend and almost had a panic attack in Times Square because I could not tune out sounds. I would hear everything. And at work, the final straw was that I was at work and I was a patient service rep at a outpatient hospital, a rather large facility. And so I was hearing the phone. I'm checking in a patient and I'm hearing the phone ringing, my coworker behind me talking, that customer talking, a nurse checking in a little kid who's crying, and the fax machine's going off and all this stuff. And I could not focus on who was right in front of me. And I would have panic attacks. I'd have to go into the lab room and just kind of squat down and cry because I was just so freaked out. And with this, I told my boss, I said, I'm struggling here. And she sent me to EAP, the Employee Assistance Program. And where I worked was a university hospital, a very wonderful place. And I got to go see the director of the psychology program or the counseling program, maybe, Dr. Barker. And Dr. Barker, once, I don't know, that day I came home, I was on my way home and I'm like, I see this image every day, and maybe this image, this childhood thing that happened to me, is what's causing all of this. And so I told the psychologist, and she said, what if we do EMDR? She said, we only got like 3 or 5 sessions to go. I don't remember. Maybe it was 5. But maybe we can. If we can't, I'll have to refer you out. Okay, great. Let's give it a shot. Well, because I kind of knew what it was, I knew what my incident was, knew what my trauma was, we got on it right away. So we did the prep work for 1 or 2 sessions. We did the prep work, and the next session she did EMDR. And in that, I left that session with my vision clear. I had clarity in my vision. I stood up taller. I went and saw my friends. I was smiling. I was like, no more panic attacks at Walmart. No more, no more claustrophobia kind of symptoms. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to teach everybody how to do this. This is amazing. This is amazing stuff. At that time, I was a single mother at age 40. I just had an associate's degree, and when I looked up how to become EMDR trained, you have to have a master's degree. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. That'll take too long. That's not going to happen for me. Bummer, But I had this envision that this thing that changed my life could also change other people's lives. And I think through that vision, the manifestation of law of attraction, or if you believe in that thing, I kind of do, and you'll hear about it, that literally kind of shifted things for me. And I did become a therapist. And I became a therapist. I went to school for probably 10 years maybe, off and on over the course of raising children. And today I have a private practice. I am doing EMDR practically daily. People come and I focus on trauma. I also do ego states therapy. And ego states is a cool tool, because what we do is we will interweave and help you to go find that little kid who got wounded, or that younger version of you who was in an abusive relationship, or the little parts of you that your brothers and sisters ignored, or that part of you, that 8-year-old that was bullied, the teenager who was raped, the one who was involved in a car accident or some other tragedy. This shit happens to people, and it's awful stuff. But I want to be your living proof that you can get over this, that you can reprocess those memories and come out shining. It's a subtle thing. It is subtle because you don't know it right away that change has happened. But then when you go to the store and you're no longer panicking, and you're no longer getting overwhelmed at all the sounds, and you realize that these PTSD symptoms go away, the more you're intrigued. I've got a lot of people whose lives have been changed by this, and I really want to help you too. It's my life's work, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love seeing people get better. In another video on another one of my pages, you'll see some information about EMDR, about ego states, about expressive arts, and the treatment that I use for OCD. I invite you to stay and hang out, and I appreciate you hanging in for this 10-minute video. All right, and please give me a call if this sounds like something you want to do. Give me a call. There's a button on here somewhere, and or email. Either way, I respond. I will respond in hopefully less than 24 hours, or I'll send you a text and just to let you know, hey, I got your number, I got your name. I will call you back tomorrow between 2 and 4. So please, and if it's not me, don't hesitate to get help. There are lots of EMDR therapists out here, and we're all eager to help you. Okay? All right. See you later.